Yes, Jim Nicholson is with the Blind Sporting Council based in Perth, and it's great to welcome Jim to the program. Jim, thanks for your time.
That's all right, Peter. How are you?
Great. How long have you been involved with the Blind Sporting Council?
Well, I weren't operating over here prior to 2006. In 2007, I took over their fundraising here, and later on in country New South Wales, and then a year or two later in Queensland.
Now, we hear about how good the Western Australian economy is. Is that reflected in the collections and the work that you do over there?
Well, I think that is a bit of an illusion. I don't think the Western Australian economy is necessarily any better than anywhere else.
Okay.
I think that's probably confined to a very limited section of the population.
Mm. Do you sort of do the same sort of thing that they do, say, in South Australia in terms of collection at shopping centres and that sort of thing?
Oh, yes.
And also, I think, was it last year you had your first eye-to-eye banquet? We've had, I think, 3 in Adelaide. Was last year your first one in Perth?
It was. August the 17th, we held it at the Barry Cable Room at what's now called Patterson Stadium, which used to be Subiaco Oval.
Yeah.
It went quite well, yes. We did it in collaboration with another organisation, and we had a lot of help here from various people, like Adrian Barrich from Channel 7 and a few people of that nature. It was really good. It was great. And
Barry Cable, whose room it was held in, he's been a good supporter as well, a very well-known AFL footballer.
Oh, well, he's one of the 24 legends.
Yeah. So. And a person who a lot of people might remember, Johnny Young, I believe he's been very supportive of the Blind Sporting Council. Is it through his radio program in Perth?
Oh, Johnny Young. In the early years, John was fantastic. He plugging for us a lot of commercials for which he took no money at all. He was a fantastic supporter. He was great, John.
Did you also do some work in the Northern Territory?
We did. We did quite a bit of work in Darwin, which worked out pretty well, actually, Pete.
Now, as far as the fundraising goes, the money that's, say, raised in Western Australia, that stays in Western Australia to help athletes or those involved with blind sport in that particular state? Is that how it works?
I'm not sure how it works in some of the states, but in Western Australia, money raised in Western Australia has to be applied within Western Australia, and it has been. We've had some marvellous stuff here. We've had an international blind golfing tournament, an international blind sailing tournament, various things like that, and that is the situation. If the money's raised here, it has to stay here under charitable collection rules.
And what about getting the information out about what people who are blind or vision impaired can do as far as sporting activities? Are the general public surprised at the sort of activities that are available and that people who are blind or vision impaired take up?
They were initially, but over the past 6 or 7 years we've had quite a bit of publicity here with radio and some television people and so on, so I think there's a fairly broad understanding now in WA of how the Blind Sporting Council works for visually impaired sports people. And
as far as the sort of future goes, there's talk that the Blind Sporting Council would like to be sort of established right across Australia. Do you think that'll be a good thing for those in Perth as well, to sort of have a national focus, as it were?
I think, Peter, the higher profile you have, and a national profile is the ideal one, I think that just works better. It's at the bottom line, the object of the Blind Sporting Council is to provide funds for visually impaired people to pursue their sports statewide, nationally or internationally, and in order to do that they need money. And obviously the money they get comes from the public, so the greater awareness you have, the more chance you've got of getting the money from the public.
And another great thing about the work the Blind Sporting Council does, if it helps out those who help out the athletes as well, be it umpires or coaches or guide runners, etc., etc. That was one of the major reasons for it being set up, and that's really important as well, because sometimes the athlete might be willing, but that support structure not being in place can sometimes prevent them from taking part as much as they might like.
Well, it's difficult being visually impaired and playing sport. A year or so ago, I was at a golf tournament here, and I was asked to put some glasses on and try and play golf, or try and putt and so forth. And it's quite incredibly difficult, So they need the funding, they need the assistance, and they need to have the opportunity to pursue their sports. But at the bottom line, it really is a matter of being able to provide the funds to assist them to do that.
Well, Jim, thanks for chatting to us. Keep up the good work. If people in particular want to get in touch with the Blind Sporting Council here in South Australia, 8232 4644 is their telephone number, and their website is www.blindsport.com.au.
That's exactly right, and thank you very much for calling, Pete.
Keep up the good work.
Good on you. Thank you very much.
Jim Nicholson there, involved with the Blind Sporting Council in Perth, and also doing work in a couple of other states as well.